So, in what is crazy news in the WNBA today, we, as of right now, have got a situation where the Houston team in the WNBA have come out and advertised the fact that they are the Houston Comets, while also not having the rights to being called the Houston Comets. As of right now, they do not have the rights to call themselves Comets, and they've already come out and called themselves Comets. So, this is from USA Today. The WNBA's plan to revive the Houston Comets is threatened by a trademark dispute with a mysterious company. Legal allows trademark for Houston Comets to lapse in 2021. A company called TSTM Holdings applied for the Comet before the applied for the Houston Comets trademark before the WNBA did. And the Houston Comets were the WNBA's original 8 franchises. And it says here, the other company is a Delaware limited liability company called TSTM Holdings, which submitted its trademark registration application in 2024. The WNBA, which allowed Houston Comets trademark to lapse in 2021, is opposing their application to Federal Trademarks Office. Well, yeah, they let the trademark lapse. My favorite part about all this is that, like, they literally started a page saying the Houston Comets, the dynasty returns when they don't own the trademark. They couldn't have waited. They couldn't have tried to, buy the trademark. All they have done is let a trademark lapse, and years later someone buys the trademark and then publicly announces they're becoming the Houston Comets. Released a website called theHoustonComets.com. So if anything, it sounds like whoever this company is that owns the trademark might somehow have a case against the WNBA. I don't know the legality of it all, but there's not a 0% chance of that happening. Like, there is always a chance that the Comets themselves or the WNBA could be in trouble. It says here as well, they're having trouble reclaiming the trademarks for Cleveland Rockers, Detroit Shock, two of the former franchise. The league has granted expansion teams Cleveland and Detroit, respectively, but denied trademark registration. But was denied trademark registration for the Shock and is facing opposition for Cleveland Rockers. Both names are registered to the WBL, a startup pro league that is yet to tip off. If you guys don't know, the Detroit 2 years ago, the Sacramento Monarchs, Detroit Shock, Cleveland Rockers, and Houston Comets were all available to be purchased. The trademark was available for something like $500. But it is hilarious. The difference with Houston situations, while Cleveland and Detroit did not publicly commit to reviving their own team names, Houston announced its plan to return as Comets. So the Houston announced its return, that they're going to become the Houston Comets, while they don't actually have the trademark. They only sorted it all out. And the day it was all sorted, they announced the trademark. So it genuinely it does they intend to use the Comets or angling for a payout. If you take for granted, WNBA abandoned its prior rights, so it's not able to overcome these applications, and then those actually turn into registrations because that company, TSTM Holdings, does in fact make use, then they're going to have priority and they're going to be able to block the WNBA from using the name at all. But there's a bunch of ifs in the statement. My guess is that they are getting a big fat payout. My guess is they're getting a payout. They will always say, you know what? Yeah, we intend to use it. We are, I don't know, we're going to set up an AAU team. We plan on setting up an AAU team that are called Houston Comets. I don't know, anything. My guess is that it's easy. It's easy to prove you or to show you of some future intent of using it. That being said, not a good look for Houston. Not a good look for Houston at all. We've really got to the stage where, when it comes to the Houston Comets, that it is realistically unlikely that they become the Houston Comets. And if they're not allowed to be the Houston Comets, what are the odds that Tillman Fertitta says, fuck this, I don't actually want to take this team? You just never know. Of all the owners, it does seem like Tillman Fertitta didn't even really He stole the Connecticut Sun team. He stole the Connecticut Sun team. And they've released merchandise for the Houston Comets without a trademark for the Houston Comets. Like, this could bite them in the ass, by the way. This could actually bite the WNBA or Tillman Fertitta. I don't know exactly. But what do they have? TC Reimagined Toyota Center. Like, this could bite them in the ass. They're selling merch for something they don't have a trademark to. That is not smart. There's no way that's smart. Again, maybe they get the trademark, but surely it's not smart selling merch to something where you don't own the trademark to. And yeah, it is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy because it is realistically a company that came in, bought the trademark. It's like domain. People buying domains. People buying domains and waiting to sell them. I do think that that's probably what's happening here. But also, do the WNBA want to get in a long legal battle when the Houston Comets are supposed to come into the league in a couple of years, and it might take longer than that? Or do they want to just pay off? And my guess is that they're going to be the Houston Comets. They are going to be able to sell all that merch, and there's going to be a payoff. Because let's be real, whoever that owns a trademark can just be like, well, they're selling merch with our trademark. This is what we're looking at doing, and then there's going to be some form of an under the table or some form of handshake agreement payoff in the millions to get the Houston Comets. Like, maybe not in the millions, but at least in the hundreds of thousands in order to get this trademark back. But someone said the league lets prior registrations lapse and other entities swooped in. Yep, this was absolutely avoidable. This was absolutely avoidable. Basically, they just never thought there was going to be expansion. In 2021, they never thought Houston was ever going to get a team again. They just never thought the league was going to grow again. They never thought Caitlin Clark was going to come out of college. It's as simple as that, because it was before the Caitlin Clark boom. And if you want to say, oh, they could see it was coming, it was growing. Remember Paige Bueckers? Yeah, Paige Bueckers had already had her National Player of the Year season, or one National Player of the Year season by the time this trademark ran out. So, they didn't think Paige Bueckers was going to do anything. They didn't expect Caitlin Clark to do what Caitlin Clark did. And it is genuinely crazy. Like, the photo should be Cooper stretching with Dawn. Yeah, I don't. That's a bit of a weird one. I think, was Dawn Staley not more known for the Charlotte Sting? Either way, it doesn't really matter too much. The fact is that as of right now, the WNBA appear, again, I could be wrong with this, it appears that they are currently selling merch for something they don't have the trademark to, which could be crazy. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.